Hi, and welcome back to our usually monthly checkup for the Sossoldi project. This one will be a particularly important one since we have a big announcement. We have finally released version 1.0 of the app, and it's already available on all the stores. So, App Store for iOS, Play Store, and F-Droid for Android. And in this video, I will show you a little bit again about why we build this, because there might be a few new faces around, and I also want to talk a little bit about the current state of the app, what we built so far, but also what we are working on and what we are planning for the next versions of Sossoldi. So let's start. And everything started, as some of you might already know, with a spreadsheet, because this app is as born basically from the community of Mr. Rip, a streamer slash YouTuber who showed basically his entire network and tracked everything on Google Sheets. And we started asking if that was the only option that most people had, and we started to think about giving them an easier way into tracking their finances, because it's not easy for people that are not that tech savvy to build their own spreadsheet or even take a template and start tracking from there. So we looked around, as I said, and of course there were a few apps already available on the stores, but we felt like they didn't solve the problems that we wanted, because most of them had subscription fees, or stored your data somewhere which it wasn't specified, or didn't allow you to export your data. So you would be locked inside the app once you started using it. And as I already mentioned, yeah, spreadsheets are not that easy to work on for most people. So we wanted to look at building an alternative basically that was free to use, had no subscriptions, and was 100% offline if someone wanted this, and also that it was simpler to start using than most apps that are around. We started with some core values, which is, as I already mentioned, privacy first. So no accounts, no cloud by default, an open license that is MIT, so that everyone can be ensured that the project is there to stay. And also, if we are going to go in a different route that people might not appreciate, they can just fork the repo and build their own version of Sossoldi, but also ensuring data ownership with full export always, and keeping in mind that we want something that is fast, that is easy to use, that is always available also offline. And I think we are keeping these core values true to ourselves, and we've built something so far that is 100% on track with them. So let's have a brief look at the app. I think this is the best way to show you around, show you how it works, where we are, and what we are still missing and we want to build for future version. This is version 1.0, and as you can see, it's divided in 4 main pages. There is a dashboard. I will go a little bit fast on this because I already showed it in the previous videos, and I don't think we need to go too much into the details. But yeah, we have a main dashboard with monthly balance compared to the previous month, the list of all your accounts with a page with all the transactions related to it, the option to reconciliate actually the amount that you have here, because you might have missed something during the month, and so you might have a slightly different amount. And with this, we will basically then sync it again and create um, general, let's say, transaction that won't be actually tracked, but it will just fix your amount. So let's say I put 5,000 euro here and I save it, and you will see this uncategorized transaction with the reconciliation. Of course, then my monthly balance now it's uh, completely taken by this amount that was generated with the reconciliation, but it's expected, as I said. There's an option also for privacy, because if you're opening the app in public places, maybe you don't want to show everything and you just want to add a transaction. In this way, people won't see the amount that you have. A simple search page that works for income, expense, or transfer, all the transaction, as I said. And then we have the transaction page in which you can check all the transaction in a month or in a specific range. This can be divided also by categories, and seeing, like, for example, if you have subcategories like we have here, you have a main category with a lot of transaction, but you might also have a few transactions that are in the in a subcategory, as you can see here, like for example furniture. And then same thing but for accounts, so you can see how much you have spent based on your accounts. And then we have a planning page with in which you can set monthly budgets for each category that you have. And yeah, as you can see here, you also can set recurring payments for things that you might want to keep an eye on, but you might forget to keep to track every, I don't know, every month, every week, etc., etc. This makes it easier to not forget them. And then we have a final graph page in which you can see how much you have on liquidity based month by month for the current year, how much you have in each account, and um, for each transaction, for each category here, you can see how much you have spent or how much you have earned. That's more or less it, I would say. The only other really important feature I think that makes sense to show is that we have an import-export page in the settings that allows you to first export your data and use it as a backup. For example, if you are changing your phone, you're switching from Android to iOS, or even between iOS devices. And but also, like, if you want to, for example, switch from Sossoldi to another app, or you want to also back up your data in a spreadsheet, and whatever other reason you might have, we always support an export option. And that's because, as I said before, it's really important for us that you don't feel locked inside our app. You will always be free to leave when you feel that you've had enough. Hopefully it won't happen, but I think it's important to offer something like this, because we have I think a pact with our user that we need to respect. So yeah, basically that's it. We will keep working on other stuff on the app, and I will actually take the opportunity to say that if you want to start getting involved into the project, we also added these little icons in the settings page in which you can click and you can join our Discord, follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, or check us out directly on GitHub. But yeah, that's it. And I would like now to talk a little bit more on the future. So as I said, everything is already available on Android and iOS, but we could support also Windows, macOS, Linux, and even a web version actually. These ones are currently not supported because it takes quite some effort to support more platforms and to test everything in all of them. But if you're interested in this, if you want to come in the project and start working on making sure that this app works also in these other platforms, then you're more than welcome to do it, and we will be glad you to have you on board, basically. For the future, as I said, we've now released version 1.1, 1.0, and we are looking on some upgrades before the 2.0. Mainly multi-currency support, a bank sync with the bank transaction sync with using enable banking, which I think would be a major feature that we want to achieve, because we are working a lot on it to make sure that we can also ensure a free plan, and which will be actually the only one. I think, at least at first. If there is enough demand, we will look into other stuff, but for now we want to start with the free plan, which would be a little bit complex to set up, but we will make sure also to give you tutorials and everything. And we could be one of probably the first, if not the first app to do something like this, to offer the open banking APIs and the tracking of your transaction automatically, um, without asking you for a subscription, which I think it's a major thing. And we are also working on supporting the import from other apps, other major financial apps, and requires quite some effort, because we want to make it sure that it works well, that we didn't miss any edge case, but we are doing it. And last but not least, translations. This will be also supported by the community, because of course we are not polyglots, we don't know every language, and we can't afford to have translators in all of them. So we will probably open all the strings to everyone to try and translate the app into your own language, if you're interested in this. We probably start with Italian, English, that it's already on the app, and Portuguese, but we will look into more and more languages. And then we are already thinking about version 2.0. The On the design side, everything has already started. They are already working on this, but we'll then work on also developing it once we are ready. And this will add portfolio tracking, asset management, and basically all the investment section, I would say, which is a major thing that we want to do, but to do it well, it's not easy. So we are trying to make sure that we are not missing anything, and it will require some time. But if you are also excited about this, if you have knowledge, then come in. As always, we want to work on this to make sure that we will offer a free option for everyone, which is not easy, but it's I think really important, because as I said, we have some core values, and we want to always try to make sure that we can offer that to everyone. So then in the future, there are other features that are often requested, but it will take time to do them. We are considering them, but it will take time. We don't know when they will come, like cloud backups, sharing accounts, split transaction, and having the app to support also more like family-oriented finances. And this is something that we want to do, but of course it's not easy. We already have a lot on the roadmap, so it will take some time to get to them. So as I said, we are working on version 2.0, and designing on the design side, we already started thinking about it and designing the first few things. And we went for a new structure of the app, which will have three main pages: a dashboard, a finance section, and an investment section. The dashboard will be modular, so you will be able to select from a list of widgets that we will build, so that you can make sure to have at first glance the things that are most important to you. So if for you it's more important to keep an eye on your net worth, then you would see that. If you want to have a look at your latest transaction, you would see that, etc., etc. So we'll make sure to offer the most modular, as I said, like version for this kind of like what already exists on Android and iOS for widgets that you can add to your home page. And then the finance and investment pages will be more structured as a normal app as we have right now, and they will let you track your budget, transaction, etc. for the finance page, and the investment one will let you keep an eye on your assets and see your performance for the year, for example. So if you want to contribute, how can you do it? As I always say, there is space for everyone in the project. You don't need to be a developer. You don't need to be only a designer. You can be someone that does social media marketing, someone that helps with managing the community, someone that helps with whatever you see fit. So if you have an idea, come to our Discord and let us know, and will think about it. We will try to figure out a way to have you contribute. It's not just a matter of having like developers, as we often think for open source project, but there is space for everyone. But that's it. Thank you again for your time, and I'll see you in the next month.